NEET Academy. Today we are going to deal with the second part of morphology of flowering plants. Okay, so let's go into this. Yesterday we have covered till androecium, the male reproductive part, and today we will be covering gynoecium, seed, fruit, and PYQs. Okay, so let's start with the gynoecium. Okay, gynoecium is the female reproductive part. Okay, gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower and is made up of one or more than one carpels. It can be one or more carpels. And what is a carpel? Carpel is the reproductive organ, and a carpel is having three parts. Okay, just see, a carpel is having three parts. This is a carpel. Okay, this can be a carpel, and this if we draw it more specifically, this carpel will be looking like this. Okay, and the part where the pollen comes and stay are known as stigma. So this part where the pollens comes and stay or pollens are placed are known as stigma, and this is the part known as style. This is style. The middle part is style. Style is the part which is connecting the stigma with the ovary. Ovary is the enlarged part at the bottom. What is ovary? Ovary is the enlarged part at the bottom. Okay, so these are the three parts of carpel. So ovary is the enlarged basal part, clear. Then stigma is usually at the tip of style, means at the tip of style stigma is present. Then it is the receptive surface for pollen grain, stigma. Each ovary bears one or more ovules attached to a flattened cushion-like placenta. Each ovary means this is an ovary, right? This is an ovary. This is an ovary, and this ovary can bear one or more than one ovules. This ovary can bear one or more than one ovules. Clear? So this is there. Each ovary bears one or more ovules attached, and this ovules, each of the ovules are attached to a cushion-like surface which is known as placenta. What is the cushion-like surface known as? Placenta. And this can be a cushion where the ovules are arranged. The ovules are arranged on the placenta. Clear? Okay. If more than one carpel is present, as we studied in androecium and other floral appendages, if more than one gynoecium is present, if more than one gynoecium or more than one carpel, gynoecium is equal to carpel. Okay, so if more than one carpel is present, it can be free. It can be free. If it is free, it is known as apocarpus. What it is known as? It is known as apocarpus. Which are the examples for those? Lotus and rose are examples for free. Or else we can say it is not united. The gynoeciums are not united, and if they are united, they are known as syncarpus. Syn means they are united. If they are united, they are known as syncarpus. Okay, and this can be seen in mustard and tomato, where the gynoeciums are fused. The gynoeciums are fused in mustard and tomato. Mustard and tomato. Okay, and after fertilization, this ovule will develop into seeds. Thus, we see in many of plants there will be so many seeds, which means there is more than one ovules present in the carpel. If there is just one ovule, then it's just one seed in a fruit. Okay, so ovules will develop into seeds, and the ovary will mature into a fruit. So the ovary is the enlarged basal part, right? So the enlarged basal part after fertilization will develop into a fruit, and the ovules present inside the placenta, which is arranged inside the placenta, will be transformed into seeds after fertilization. Clear? Okay, now coming into placentation. What is placentation? Placenta is the soft cushion-like surface where ovules are arranged. So placentation is the arrangement of ovules on placenta. Arrangement of ovules within the ovary is known as placentation. Clear? Now there are different types of placentation, different types of arrangement of ovules. Okay, let's see each of them. First one is marginal, then axial, parietal, basal, central, and free central. As the name suggests, it's easy to, if we get these names, if we are able to remember these names, it's easy to remember what they mean also. Okay, so first marginal placentation. What does you mean by marginal placentation? Marginal means in the placenta there will be a formation of a ridge. So this is marginal placentation. See the picture, first picture, it is marginal placentation. The ovules are arranged. The ovules are arranged on a ridge, on a margin. Clear? And where it is seen? This is seen in, and this is seen in P. Okay, it can be arranged in 2 rows. It can be forming 2 rows. Clear? And now coming into the Axial type. Axial placentation. Axial placentation, the ovules are attached to the multilocular ovary. Just see the picture. The ovules are arranged in the multilocular ovary, which means multilocular means it is segmented into different parts. Okay, so here you see it's if it is just one and it is not segmented, means this is the septa. Okay, this is the septa. If there is no septa, then this ovary can be called as unilocular because there is only one chamber. Since it is divided into three chambers, it is known as multilocular. So axial placentation is present in multilocular ovaries. Where it is present? Multilocular ovaries. And how it is arranged? See, in axial placentation, ovules are attached in a multilocular ovary. Okay, so in this multilocular ovary, see, the ovules are arranged. Clear? Okay, and where it is seen? These are seen in China rose, tomato and lemon. China rose, tomato and lemon. These examples are important. I am saying you again and again, the examples in this chapter are covering more importance. Clear? Okay, now let's go into the next type. Next type is parietal. What do you mean by parietal? Parietal means they are arranged at the periphery. The ovules are arranged at the periphery of ovary. So let's see, this is the ovary and the ovules, see the ovules are arranged at the periphery. Okay, the peripheral margin. So clear? And where it is seen? The parietal placentation. The ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or on the peripheral part, and it is seen in mustard and argemone. It is seen in mustard and argemone. If they are forming a false septum and forming different chambers, then they are mustard and argemones. And if they are not having, okay, ovary is one chamber, but it becomes, okay, in the beginning it is one chamber and it can become two chambered due to the formation of a false septum. See, in axial placentation there was already a septum. In axial placentation there is already a septum, but in totally there are 6 type of placentation. First we learned about marginal. Next we learned about axial placentation where the septums are true, which means the septums are present there. But in parietal placentation, septums are not initially present, but later the septum can be formed and it is a false septum. Please note the point, it is a false septum present in parietal placentation and it can be seen in we discussed mustard and argemone. Okay, and if the ovules are just present on the central axis, see, the ovules are just present on the central axis, then it is known as central placentation. What it is known as? It is known as central placentation, and it is seen in dianders and primrose. Okay, it is free central placentation. And basal placentation, this was a PYQ. Basal placentation, the placenta develops at the base of ovary. The enlarged basal part of ovary is enlarged basal part of Gynoecium is ovary, right? So at the base of the ovary, if the ovules develop, then it is known as basal placentation. Clear? And basal placentation is seen in sunflower and marigold. Have you ever seen the seeds of sunflower and marigold? They are like on a single ovary there will be a seed at the base of ovary. Clear? Okay. Now going into the next part. The next part is fruit. Okay, fruit is the characteristic feature of flowering plants. The flowering plants will be having fruit. As we studied in the classification, there are gymnosperms and angiosperms. Angiosperms were not flowering plants, right? The gymnosperms were not flowering plants and angiosperms were flowering plants, and the characteristic features of angiosperms, the characteristic features of flowering plants is fruit. Okay, and it is what is a fruit? Fruit is a matured ovary. As we said, ovules will develop into seed and fruit will be developed from the ovary. Okay, so it is a matured ripened ovary developed after fertilization. If the a fruit is formed without fertilization of the ovary, then it is known as parthenocarpic fruit. Now in the market there are so many types of parthenocarpic fruits, which means the fruits which are formed without fertilization. Clear? If they are formed without fertilization, there won't be seeds. That's where we hear seedless grapes, seedless other fruits like seedless fruits. They are formed without fertilization. Without fertilization, they are known as parthenocarpic fruits. What they are known as? They are known as parthenocarpic fruit. Clear? Okay. Now the fruit. A fruit will be having, generally a fruit will be having pericarp and seed. What is pericarp? Pericarp is the wall of the fruit. The wall of the fruit is known as pericarp and it will be having a seed inside. Okay. The pericarp can be dry or fleshy. The pericarp can be dry or it can also be fleshy. Central placentation is just simple. Central placentation when the ovules are arranged in the central axis. Okay, free central placentation when the ovules are arranged in the central axis. Nothing else. Clear? Okay. Now the pericarp is thick and fleshy. Pericarp can be thick or fleshy as I said, and it is different. If it is thick and fleshy, means if it is hard, it can be differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Epicarp is the outermost part, outer epicarp, middle mesocarp and inner endocarp. Clear? Okay. Now in mango and in coconut. In mango and in coconut, the fruits are drupes. The fruits are known as drupe. Okay. This is a point that you have to be noted, that you have to note and you have to remember. Mango and coconut belongs to drupe. Okay, drupe, and they develop from monocarpellary superior ovaries and are one-seeded. As you all know, the mango and coconut are developed from monocarpellary. What do you mean by monocarpellary? Just one carpel is present, which means only one gynoecium is present and the ovary is superior. This just a single statement is giving you 2-3 MCQ points, right? Monocarpellary superior ovary, monocarpellary superior ovaries and are one-seeded. Okay, clear? This is present in mango and coconut. And in mango, the pericarp is well differentiated. We will see the picture in next page. The mango pericarp is well differentiated, and let's see the mango is well differentiated. The pericarp is well differentiated into outer thin epicarp, middle fleshy mesocarp. Mesocarp is the part that we eat. Okay, it is the edible part, and the stony endocarp. Stony endocarp. Clear? And in coconut, the mesocarp is fibrous. The outer layer that we see is epicarp, and the mesocarp is fibrous, and the stony shell is the endocarp. Clear? Now coming into seed. Seed is the next part. The ovules after, as we see, ovary after fertilization forms fruit. Ovules after fertilization will form seeds. Okay, ovary after fertilization will form fruits and ovules after fertilization will form seeds. Clear? Okay. Now what is a seed made up of? A seed is made up of, a seed can be having a seed coat and embryo inside it. This is a seed coat. A seed will be having a seed coat, which means a covering, and it will be having embryo inside. Those are the two parts. And the embryo. Now we are going to talk about the embryo. This embryo can be having a radicle. This embryo can be made up of radicle, and it will be having an embryonal axis. And it will also be having a cotyledon. If it is monocotyledonous seed, then it will be having just one cotyledon. If it is dicotyledonous seed, then it will be having two cotyledons. Clear? So let's see, this is an embryo. This is a dicotyledonous embryo. What are all the parts of dicotyledonous embryo? This is a embryonal axis. This is the embryonal axis, and the upper part is plumule and the lower part is radicle. As we studied, the root will arise from the radicle and the shoot axis is developed from the plumule. And since it is a dicotyledonous plant, it is having two cotyledons. If it is monocotyledonous, then it will be having just a single cotyledon. Clear? Okay. Now the outermost covering of a seed is known as seed coat. As we discussed, the seed will be having a seed coat, and this seed coat can again be differentiated into two: outer testa and inner tegmen. Outer testa and inner tegmen. Just note the point: outer text. Okay. Outer testa and inner tegmen. Tegmen, inner. Okay, outer testa and inner tegmen. And there is hilum, and hilum is a scar. What is hilum? Hilum is a scar on the seed coat, which was the place where it was attached to the seed. Where it was attached to the fruit. The seed is inside the fruit, right? So the point of attachment of seed to the fruit, the point of attachment of seed to the fruit is known as hilum. Okay, so basically hilum is a scar on the seed coat through which the developing seed were attached to the fruit, and above the hilum there is a small pore which is known as micropyle. Clear? Within the seed coat is the embryo. Inside the seed coat is the embryo, and as we said, it will be having embryonal axis, 2 cotyledons. This is about dicotyledonous seeds. Okay, outer test and tegmen and inner embryonal axis along with 2 cotyledons are present in dicot seeds. Okay, now the cotyledons will be often fleshy. The cotyledons can be fleshy and it will be full of reserved food materials. If they are like that, they can be fleshy, and since they are fleshy, they will be having so many food materials which are required for the developing embryo, right? Okay, and at the 2 ends of embryonal axis, radicle and plumule are present. In some seeds the endosperm, okay, in some seeds there will be formation of endosperm. What is endosperm? Endosperm is formed as a result of double fertilization. This we will be learning this about in detail in second year chapters. In plus 2 chapters we will be learning, and now you just have to note that endosperm is a structure which is formed as a result of double fertilization, and endosperm will provide the nutrients required for the developing embryo. Clear? Okay, if the endosperm is persistent, then it is known as endospermous seeds. What it is known as? Endospermous seeds. And what are the examples? Which are the examples? The castor is example for endospermous seed. And if the endosperm is not present in the mature seed, then the endosperm is not present in the mature seed, such seeds are known as non-endospermous. It's pretty clear. And which are the examples? Examples are bean, gram and pea. Bean, gram and pea. Clear? Now going into the next part. Now we have learned about structure of dicot seeds. Now structure of monocot seeds. Monocotyledon seeds are endospermic. Mostly they are endospermic, but rarely they can also be non-endospermic. Okay, monocot seeds are mostly endospermic and they can also be non-endospermic. And the example for non-endosperm, this is a point to be noted, it is important because there is rare occasion where the monocot seeds are non-endospermic, and the example is orchids, which is the example for non-endospermic monocot seeds. Orchids, this is a point to be noted, please note it. Okay, orchids. And in seeds such as maize, this is maize. In seeds such as maize, there will be a seed coat. The seed coat, as we discussed in dicot, there is a seed coat and it will be having 2 parts, right? Outer testa and inner tegmen. But in monocots, the seeds like that of maize, they will be having a membranous seed coat, which means it is not so hard, it is just like a membrane. Membranous seed coat will be present. Okay, the membranous seed coat will be present. Membranous seed coat will be present and it will be generally fused with the fruit wall. A membranous seed coat will be present, and also that it will be the seed coat will be fused with the fruit wall. Clear? Okay. And the endosperm is bulky and store the food. The endosperm, it is, as we said, it is mostly endospermous, and the endosperm will be bulky and it will store the food. The outer covering of the endosperm separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer known as alluron layer. This was a PYQ. Please note this statement is to be noted because this was a PYQ, multiple times PYQ. What is alluron layer? Alluron layer is a proteinaceous layer. Please note, alluron layer is a proteinaceous layer over the embryo. So alluron layer is the proteinaceous layer covering the embryo. Clear? Okay. Outer covering of the endosperm. Alluron layer is the proteinaceous layer which is covering the endosperm and it separates the endosperm and embryo. Okay. Alluron layer is the proteinaceous layer covering the endosperm which separates the endosperm and embryo. Clear? And the embryo will be small, and it is situated at one end of the, in a groove at one end of the endosperm. So just see, this is endosperm, and as compared to endosperm, the embryo, this is embryo. So the embryo is small and it is situated at an end, and in the groove. Okay, and it will be having a shield shaped cotyledon. This is a shield shaped cotyledon. This embryo will be having a shield shaped cotyledon. It is known as scutellum. What it is known as? The cotyledon of monocot plants are known as scutellum. Okay, and as we know, this is a short embryonal axis. The monocot is also having embryonal axis, and it is short here, and it will be having plumule and radicle on both the ends. And the covering of radicle is known as coleorhiza. R for R. Okay, R for R. So radicle is covered by coleorhiza and plumule is covered by coleoptile. P for P. So radicle is covered by a coating known as coleorhiza and plumule is covered by coleoptile. Clear? They are enclosed in sheaths which are called coleoptile and coleorhiza. Everything is clear. Now we will just learn about three families and how to write the floral formula. We will learn about three families and their floral formulas. Okay, so before going into floral formula, we have to know what are the symbols representing. So BR means bractate. What is bract? It is a reduced leaf-like structure. Okay, now K stands for calyx, C stands for corolla, P for perianth, A for androecium, G for gynoecium, and if there is a line below the G, then it is superior ovary. If the line is above G, then it is inferior ovary. And this is for male, and this symbol represents female, and this symbol is representing the bisexual. Okay, and this symbol represents actinomorphic, and if there is a symbol like this, then it is for zygomorphic plants. Okay, now if there is a fusion, it will be indicated by presence of two brackets around the letter. Okay, and if there is adhesion between the floral appendages, there will be a line joining two letters. Clear? Everything is clear. We will make it more clear while seeing the floral formula. Okay. And now what are the characteristics of a floral diagram? It will provide information about the number of parts of a flower, their arrangement and relation. It will give information about the number of plants, number of parts of flower, their arrangement and the relation they are having with each other. Okay, and the position of mother axis. This is an important point. The position of their mother axis will be, with respect to the flower, will be represented by a dot at the top of floral diagram. Clear? Okay, and now the calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium will be arranged in a particular manner, where the calyx will be the outermost, calyx being the outermost and the gynoecium being at the center. Clear? Okay, now cohesion, floral formula also shows cohesion and adhesion between the within the parts of walls, okay, and between the walls. And the floral diagram, okay, the first floral diagram we will be seeing about Brassicaceae. An example for Brassicaceae family is mustard. Clear? Okay, so we will see the first one, it is actinomorphic, which means radially symmetrical. Okay, next it is bisexual plant. Then it's about calyx. Calyx is having two bundles. Okay, 2 plus 2. Just see, the calyx is the outermost layer, right? So what does this dot indicate? It is the relation with the mother axis. Okay, and this is calyx. Calyx is like 2 inner and 2 outer calyx are present. Then corolla is 4 and it is having valvate arrangement. Okay, then the next one is androecium. Androecium is 2 plus 4, which means there will be 2 bundles of androecium. Okay, 2 bundles of stamens. Clear? Now gynoecium. See, this is the androecium 1, 2, and this is the other 4. Okay, 2 plus 4 bundles of androecium. And the inside one is gynoecium. The gynoecium under G there is a line, which means the ovary is superior, and the two carpels, since they have given a bracket around 2, which means there is fusion of two carpels. Clear? So this is the floral formula of mustard or Brassicaceae. Now coming into Solanaceae. What is Solanaceae? Solanaceae is the large family, okay, and it is a potato family. So it will be mostly herbs, shrubs and small trees. It can be woody, aerial, erect, cylindrical branches. These are all common points. You just have to read it once. Hairy or glandular underground stem in potato. Okay, what is potato? Potato is an underground stem. And leaves, what are the characteristics of leaves? It's alternate, simple, rarely, it can be rarely compound. It is mostly alternate and pinnate. Okay, rarely alternate, it's mostly alternate arrangement phyllotaxy, and it can be simple leaves, but rarely it can be pinnately compound. Okay, and it is exstipulate, which means there is no stipulates. Stipules are not present, stipules are absent. Okay, venation is reticulate. See the leaves, the venation is reticulate. Now coming into the floral diagram, we'll see the floral diagram and floral formula. Okay, the inflorescence is cymose. All these points you have to note. Okay, the flower is bisexual, actinomorphic and sepals. The calyx is valvate aestivation, corolla is again valvate aestivation. The androecium is having epipetalis. What does that mean by epipetalis? The petal is attached to the androecium. Clear? And gynoecium is syncarpous, which means fused, ovary superior, bilocular, which means two chambers are present, placenta swollen with many ovules, axile placentation. What is the placentation of Solanum family? It is axile placentation. Okay, berry or capsule, many seeds will be there, and it is an endospermous seed. Okay. Now the floral formula, it is actinomorphic, it is bisexual, the calyx is 5 and it is united. The corolla is also again 5, it is also united, and the androecium is just a single bundle, and it is not even bundle, it is not united, it is free. So it is 5, and the androecium is attached to the corolla. So there is a line over androecium and corolla fusing each other. Okay, and under G there is a line, so the ovary is superior, and the two carpels are fused. Clear? And just see the examples: tomato, brinjal, chili, belladonna, ashwagandha, tobacco and petunia. Clear? Now this is extra information which was present in the old NCERT. This is Liliaceae. Liliaceae, it will be bractate, so BR. Actinomorphic, bisexual, perianth. In lily, as we studied, there is no differentiation between calyx and corolla, so it is just perianth. Both are known as perianth, and the perianth will be in two bundles, 3 plus 3, and it is fused, and it is also attached to the androecium, which is having again two bundles, 3 plus 3, which are free. Okay, and the gynoecium is again superior. And the three carpels are fused. Clear? This is about Liliaceae. Please note it down, these floral formula. Okay, and at last we will be dealing with the Fabaceae. What is Fabaceae? Fabaceae is Liliaceae. In Liliaceae we will see lily family. Okay, and in Fabaceae it is mostly pea family. It is also known as Papilioneous. Okay, Papilioneaceae. So Fabaceae, it is zygomorphic, it is bisexual, calyx 5 and united, corolla 1 plus 2 plus 2, and the last 2 is united. I will show you the corolla. It is a big petal covering two lateral petal, which is known as keel petal. This is standard petal, or also known as vexillum. It is also known as vexillum, and this is two lateral petal, which is known as which is known as wings. Okay, which is known as wings, and at last there will be two fused structures, two fused petals. They are known as keel. Okay, so just see, it is 1 plus 2 which is not fused plus 2 which is fused. So corolla is fine, right? Okay, now coming into androecium. Androecium is two bundles. One bundle is a bundle of 9 which is fused, and the other one is just a 1. Okay, and the gynoecium, again ovary is superior and just one ovary. So this was all about NCERT, all about the new NCERT, and in the old NCERT there was extra portions like modifications of root, modifications of leaves and modifications of stem. So we'll be just reading through that also. Okay, what the normal functions of root, as we know, it's the absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Okay, and this will be modified, these roots will be modified to perform other functions also. So when they are modified to perform other functions, that is known as modifications of root. Okay, they are modified for, usually they are modified for support, storage of food and respiration. Clear? Okay, taproots of carrot, turnip, taproot of carrot and turnip and the adventitious root of sweet potato will store food. So the storage of food is happening in three examples. They have given 3 examples for storage of food in the root. So carrot and turnip, which is storing food in taproot, and sweet potato, which is storing food in adventitious root. So that was about storage of food. And the hanging structures that support a banyan tree, hanging structures that support a banyan tree are known as prop root. So this is an example for support. Okay, when they are modified for support, they are known as prop roots and they are seen in banyan trees. Okay, clear? And next it will be stems of maize and sugarcane. Stems of the maize and sugarcane will be having supporting roots coming from the internodes, from the lower nodes. Sorry. So the stems of maize and sugarcane will be having supporting roots coming out of the lower nodes of the stem. Just see. Okay, coming out of the lower roots of the nodes, lower nodes, and these are known as stilt root. Again, this is a support. Okay, support is prop root and stilt root. Prop root are seen in banyan tree and stilt root are seen in sugarcane and maize. And now in some plants such as rhizophora which are growing in swampy areas, the many roots. Okay, in swampy areas, which means where there is they can't get enough oxygen from the soil. Okay, so what they will do, their roots will grow upwards. Instead of going downwards, their roots will grow upwards and they will grow vertically upwards. Such roots are known as pneumatophores. What are the function? Help to get oxygen for respiration. Okay, clear? So we learned about storage, we learned about support, and now we learned about respiration. Okay, so for respiration it is pneumatophores. What is the name? Pneumatophores. Just see the picture. Just see the picture. The roots are growing. The roots are growing vertically upwards. The roots are growing vertically upwards. Clear? Okay. And at last, asparagus is also storing food. Asparagus also stores food in its root. Clear? Now coming into modification of stem. Okay, just see modification of stem. Underground stems, again this stem, the normal functions is bearing branches, leaves, fruits and buds, but they can be modified to form a storage area. Okay, they can be modified storage of food. They can be modified storage of food. So potato, ginger, sammingal and potato. Okay, so these are the examples for their storage of food in stem. Okay, and colocasia. These are the examples for storage of food. And stems also act as organ of perennation to tide over conditions of unfavorable growth. Okay, the stems can also act as organ of perennation, which means the organs that they can also they can also be helpful in their propagation. Okay, in unfavorable conditions of their growth. Now stem tendrils. Stem tendrils means the structures which are formed on the stems, which are thread-like structures. The thread-like structures which are formed on the stem. Okay, these stem tendrils which develop from axillary buds. Where does the tendrils develop from? They develop from the axillary bud, and they help the plants to climb. They help the plant to climb, and they are seen in cucumber, pumpkin and watermelon, as you have seen, and in grape vines. So tendrils, this can be a question. Tendrils are a modification of, tendrils are modification of, option can be stem, root, leaves. What is it? It is the modification of stem. Clear? Okay, this is axillary bud and See this picture, this is axillary bud, and from this axillary bud it is modified into tendril. Clear? Now axillary buds of stems may also get modified into, this is important, this was a PYQ. Axillary buds of stems gets modified into woody, straight and pointed thorns. And where it is present in citrus and bougainvillea. So the thorns of citrus and bougainvillea are modification of stem. Please note the point, it is important. And they protect from browsing animals. Okay. Some plants of arid regions having little or no rain, which means the deserted regions, they will be modifying their stems into structures containing chlorophylls, and they can carry out photosynthesis, which means in desert areas the stems will be modified into leaf-like structures, not leaf but leaf-like structures where they are having chlorophyll and they can undergo photosynthesis. And which are the examples? If the stem is flattened, it is opuntia. If it is fleshy and cylindrical, it is euphoria. If the stem is flattened, it is opuntia. If it is fleshy and cylindrical, it is euphoria. Okay. Now the underground stems of some plants such as grass, oxalis and strawberry spread to new niches. What is new niches? New niches is their new environment. Okay, so the stems, underground stems of oxalis and the other plants like grass, strawberry, they will develop into new areas, and this where the older plants die. Okay, so they will be having underground stems, and when the plants die, there will be a new plant formation at that area. So these type of propagation is known as runner. Okay, clear? And in plants like mint and jasmine, a slender lateral branch arises from the base of the main axis, and after growing aerially for some time, they arch downwards to touch the ground, and this type of propagation is known as stolon. In the picture it will be more clear. Just see. Okay, so this is a jasmine plant, and there will be formation of a lateral branch, and this lateral branch grow aerially for some time, and then they grow downwards, then they grow vertically downwards like this to touch the ground. Okay, to touch the ground, and from there they will form a new plant, and this type of propagation is known as stolon. Okay, stolon. So runner, as we see, it was by the underground stem, but stolon, it is like this, from the lateral branch arising from the base of plant. Clear? And if the lateral branch with short internodes and each node bearing a rosette of leaves and a tuft of root is found in plants like pistia and eichhornia. Okay, and this type of propagation is known as offset. So just see, these are the lateral roots. So this is a aquatic plant. This is the aquatic plant, and it will be forming a lateral root. Lateral branch, and in each of the lateral branch they are forming, they will be having a rosette of flowers. Means a group of flowers, and a tuft of root, which means a group of roots. If it is like that, then it is known as offset. Okay, so we have studied about three. It is runner, stolon and offset, and the examples. And in banana, pineapple and chrysanthemum, the lateral branch originates from the basal and underground portion of the main stem and grow horizontally. They will grow horizontally beneath the soil. Okay, the graphical representation will be like this. So for plants like banana, chrysanthemum and pineapple, okay, this is the upper part of the stem, and this is the underground part of the stem, and in the underground part they will form a lateral branch. And this will grow vertically or obliquely to form new plants here. Clear? So this is known as suckers. Okay, they are known as suckers. So this was about modification of stem. Now coming into modification of leaves. Okay, leaves are modified to perform functions other than photosynthesis. The main function of leaf is leaf is performing photosynthesis, but when leaves are modified to form other function, they are modification of leaves. Now let's see what are they. They are converted into tendrils for climbing in peas. Okay, so this can be a confusion. The tendrils which are formed from stems are helpful for climbing in cucumber, watermelon, pumpkin. But if the tendrils that are seen in peas, then it is the modification of leaf. So the tendrils that are seen in cucumber, pumpkin and watermelon, it is modification of stem, but the tendrils that are seen in pea is modification of leaves. Clear? Okay. Or they can also form spines. Thorns present in bougainvillea and citrus was modification of stem, but spines for defense as in cactus plant. In cactus plants there will be spines. This is modification of leaf. Please note the point, tendrils and spine, there tendrils, and in stems it was tendrils and thorns. Clear? Okay, now if the leaves are fleshy like onion and garlic, the leaves will be fleshy in onion and garlic, it is a mode of modification of leaf. Okay, and in some plants like Australian Acacia, it is a plant which looks like in this plant the leaves will be looking like drumstick leaves, if you have seen that. So in Australian Acacia the leaves are small and short lived. The leaves will be small, just like this. The leaves will be small and they will be short lived. Okay. The petioles means the stack which is bearing, the petioles means which is the stack that is bearing the leaves. Okay, so the petioles will be expanded. The petioles in these plants will be expanded and become green, and they synthesize the food. The leaves are so small. The leaves are so small that they can't afford photosynthesis, but the petioles which get swollen and perform photosynthesis. Clear? And synthesize the food. Now leaves of certain insectivorous plants like pitcher plant, Venus flytrap are also modified leaves. So this is also a point to be noted, and it was PYQ. Okay, pitcher plant and Venus flytrap is also modified leaves. Clear? So this was all about the chapter. Now we will be going into PYQ session of this chapter. Clear? So the PYQ session starts here. The floral formula of given below is it is actinomorphic. The first one, it is actinomorphic, then it is bisexual, the calyx which is having 5 and it is united, and corolla is also again having 5 structures and it is also united, and the corolla is attached to the androecium, which means it is epipetalous. And gynoecium is superior, and there is 2 and it is fused. So this type is present in family Solanaceae. Okay, potato family, and petunia belongs to potato family. So the answer comes to be petunia, option C. Clear? In this type of question, you just have to remember the floral diagrams. All these floral diagrams you have to remember, so you can correct these type of questions. Okay, vexillary estivation is the characteristics of vexillary estivation is present, and what do you mean by vexillary estivation? This is vexillary estivation. This we have discussed many times. This is vexillary estivation, and this is present in, yes, Fabaceae. So Fabaceae, option B is the right answer. Clear? Going into next question. Identify the correct set of statements. The leaflets are modified into pointed hard thorns in citrus and bougainvillea. This I have discussed again and again. The leaflets are, it's not a modification of leaf. The thorn is a modification of stem. Okay, thorn is a modification of stem in citrus and bougainvillea. So it is a wrong statement. The second one, axillary buds form slender and spirally coiled tendrils. Okay, this is right. Axillary buds will form slender and spirally coiled tendrils in cucumber and pumpkin. Right? This is a modification of stem. Then stem is flattened and fleshy in opentia. Right? Flattened, it will be flattened and fleshy in opentia and modified to perform functions of leaves. Right? They are modified to perform the photosynthesis function. So C is also right. Rhizophora shows vertically upward growing of roots, as we have seen it, and it is known as pneumatophores. Okay, that help to get oxygen for respiration. That is also true. So 3, B, C, D is right. Now subaerially growing stems in grass and strawberry helps in vegetative propagation. This is also true, because in strawberry and grass we have seen there is, in strawberry and grass there is underground stems. There is underground stems, and these underground stems will form new niches and new niches. So this also help, they are also helpful in propagation. They are known as runners. Okay, so the answer is option A. B, C, D and E are right. Clear? Now going into next. Diadelphous. What do you mean by diadelphous? Monoadelphous means just a single group of stamens. Okay, single bundle of stamens. If diadelphous, 2 bundles of stamens are present, and it is present in P. Okay, in P 2 bundles are present, which are the how it is represented, 9 which is fused plus 1. So this is the Andresium formula for for P. Clear? For family Fabaceae. And sweet potato is a modified. You just have to remember this. It is a modification of root and it is adventitious root. Sweet potato is adventitious root. And taproot modification for storage of food was seen in carrot and turnip. Clear? Next question. A drupe as we seen, it is in mango and coconut. Okay. The roots that originate from the base of stem. Roots that are originating from the base of stem are known as fibrous root. What are they? Fibrous root. Because primary roots are formed from the radicle. Elongation of radicle, but fibrous roots are formed from the base of stem. Bougainvillea thorns are modifications of, this is an important MCQ. Bougainvillea, the thorns are modifications of stem. Which one of the following plants show vexillary estivation and diadelphous? Diadelphous, as we said, it is in P family, which means Fabaceae, and vexillary estivation again in P family, Fabaceae. So it is Solanum nigra belongs to potato family. Then Collinium autumnale belongs to lily family, and Allium pepper is also not there. So Pisum sativa belongs to P family. Okay. Now the flowers are zygomorphic in. The flowers, zygomorphic means bilaterally symmetrical. So mustard, it is not bilaterally symmetrical. Then Gulmohar, it is bilaterally symmetrical, and in Cassia also it is bilaterally symmetrical. In Datura and chili it is not. So B and C, option A is the right answer. Clear? Flowers are zygomorphic in. Again we have discussed it. It is zygomorphic in Gulmohar and Cassia. Placentation in which ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary, or in the peripheral. When you hear the word periphery, the thing that you have to come in mind is parietal placentation. What it is? Parietal placentation. The gynoecium consists of many free pistils. In the flowers of gynoecium will be having many free pistils, which means the pistils are not united. The pistils are free. What do you mean by pistils? Pistils are the gynoecium, right? The parts of, like the carpels are pistils. Okay. So it is seen in tomatoes Solanum family. So they are having united. So papaver is also having united. Aloes, lily, they are again having united. They are just having single. Okay, single gynoecium. So Michelia is having free pistils. Okay, Michelia will be having free pistils. Now free central placentation. Free central placentation was seen in Dianthus. Okay, Dianthus. Which one of the following statement is correct? The seeds of orchids have oil-rich endosperm. The seeds of orchid is having oil-rich endosperm. The seeds of orchid, as we said, the monocots plants are usually endospermic. but rarely non-endospermous, and orchid grows non-endospermous seed. So this is absolutely wrong. Flower of tulip is a modified shoot. Flower of tulip is a modified shoot. Then it is right, because a flower is always a modified shoot. Then tomato is, the fruit is capsule. No, it is a drupe. Presentation is in primrose is basal. No, presentation in primrose is precentral. Clear? So the option B is right answer. Flower of tulip is a modified shoot. Now radial symmetry. Radial symmetry is found in the flowers of. Radial symmetry is found in the flowers of it's brassica, which means mustard. Okay. And in cassia it is present. In cassia it is actinomorphic. In cassia it is zygomorphic, which means bilaterally symmetrical. Okay. Trifolium it is lily, and pisum it is fabaceae. So it is mustard, brassica. Clear? Bilateral radial symmetry in brassica. Whorled symbol leaves. Whorled, what do you mean by whorled? Whorled is a type of phyllotaxy, which means the arrangement of leaves around a point. Okay, so if the leaves, if more than two leaves just like this, if more than two leaves are arranged at a single node, it is known as whorled phyllotaxy. What it is known as? It is known as whorled phyllotaxy. And symbol leaves and reticulate venation. The one and only example we have studied for whorled phyllotaxy is Alstonia. Okay, Alstonia is the right answer. Next question, the ray florets have. Ray florets are having, ray florets will be having inferior ovary. Okay, they will be having inferior ovary. Clear? Ray florets of sunflower. Now coconut fruit is again a drupe. Coconut fruit is a drupe. Now cotyledon of maize. Cotyledon of maize grain is called. The cotyledon of maize grain is called scutellum. Okay, what is the specialty of this cotyledon? This is a, okay, this is it, and it will be having a comparatively larger endosperm. It will be having comparatively larger endosperm and a smaller embryo. Okay, smaller embryo, and this embryo will be having a shield shaped. This embryo will be having a shield shaped cotyledon. Okay, shield shaped cotyledon, and this cotyledon is known as scutellum. What it is known as? It is known as scutellum. Okay, and in this scutellum it will be having an embryonal axis. It will be having a small embryonal axis with radicle at the base and plumule. Okay, radicle and plumule, and the plumule will be covered by coleoptile. Plumule will be covered by a sheath known as coleoptile, and the radicle will be covered by a sheath which is known as coleorhiza. Clear? Okay, the plumule will be covered by coleoptile and the radicle will be covered by coleorhiza. So the next one, in China rose. In China rose the flowers are. In China rose the flowers are having valvate aestivation. They are having in China rose, as we will just see. Okay, in China rose, okay, it was valvate. The arrangement is twisted. If one margin of appendage overlap the other, it is seen in twisted. Okay, so twisted arrangement, and it is having which type of ovary? It is having superior, right? It is having superior type of ovary. And what about the symmetry? The symmetry of China rose. The symmetry of China rose is not given here. So just see what all information what we are having. So it's just hypogynous, which means superior. It is hypogynous. So among this it will be the answer, and it will be having twisted aestivation. So option D is the right answer. So in China rose, please note the point, in China rose the flowers will be actinomorphic, it will be hypogynous, and it will be having twisted aestivation. Clear? Now the standard petal of a papilionaceous corolla is also called the standard petal, which means the outer petal. The outer petal of a Papilionaceous is also known as Fabaceae. Okay, so the outer petal is known as vexillum. It is also known as vexillum, or it is known as standard. Okay, so vexillum is the right answer, and the option A is the right answer, vexillum. Clear? Now, when the margins of sepals or petals overlap one another without any particular direction, if they are overlapping in a particular direction, if they are overlapping in a particular direction like this, then they are known as twisted. If they are overlapping without a particular direction, then they are known as imbricate. What they are known as? They are known as imbricate estivation. Okay. Now the next question. Okay, basal placentation. Basal placentation is seen in sunflower. Basal placentation is seen in sunflower. Axial free central is seen in dianthus. Okay, parietal is seen in mustard, and axial is seen in China rose. Okay, just see A for A option. A is basal. Basal is for sunflower. So A for 4 and B for 2. Okay. B for 2 and C for 1 and D for 1, D for 3, which means basal sunflower, axial it is China rose, parietal it is mustard, and free central it is dianthus. Okay, example for free central, there are 2 examples for free central. What are they? They are dianthus and primrose. Okay, clear? Next one, which one of the following figure represent the placentation in dianthus? First we have to know what is the placentation of dianthus. The placentation of dianthus is free central. So free central is present, this is multilocular. See, this is multilocular, so it is not. This is marginal, this is also wrong. This is parietal, and this one is the right answer where it is free central. So figure B is the right answer. Clear? Placenta and pericarp are both edible portions, which means the placenta inside where the ovules are arranged, and the pericarp, which means the outer covering of the fruit, both are edible in tomato, because in tomato we eat the fruit will be fully edible. Clear? Now the axial placentation. Axial placentation is present in, as we know, dianthus is having free central. So it is wrong. Then P is again not having axial placentation. Argemone is having, we have discussed that false septum, right? False septum, it is present in parietal placentation. Okay, so that is also wrong. Lemon or citrus is having axial placentation. Clear? So option D is the right answer. The term polyadelphous. What do you mean by polyadelphous? Polyadelphous means the stamens. Stamens means the androecium. The male reproductive parts will be, there are number of male reproductive parts, which means there are a number of stamens present in the flower, and they will be not fused to each other. They will be free. If they are free, then they are known as polyadelphous. If they are free, then they are known as polyadelphous. If they are fused, then they are known as if they are fused and, okay, just this you have to remember. If they are free, if they are not fused and they are free, then they are known as polyadelphous, and it is about androecium. And now we will see more about androecium, which means it is free, polyadelphous. If it is fused, it can be of fusion in varying degrees, right? There can be fusion of varying degrees. If they are fused to form a single bundle, then they are known as monoadelphous. What are they known as? They are known as monoadelphous. If they are fused to form two bundles, then they are known as diadelphous. Okay, clear? And if they are fused to form more than two bundles, then they are known as polyadelphous. Now tricarpillary syncarpous. tricarpellary, which means there are multiple of 3. The floral appendages will be in multiple of 3, and Syncarpus gynoecium is found in flowers of tricarpellary. So 3 carpels are there, and Syncarpus gynoecium is present in family of Solanaceae. Okay, Syncarpus gynoecium is present in family of Solanaceae. We can just confirm it by seeing the floral formula. Tricarpellary, Syncarpus. Okay, tricarpellary. If it was bicarpellary, it was Solanaceae, because Solanaceae is having 2 carpels. But if it is tricarpellary, which means there is 3 gynoeciums, then it is Fabaceae, because Fabaceae is having 3 carpels. So the answer is option A. Clear? Fabaceae. Now, which one of the following statement is correct? The seed in grass is not endospermic. Mostly the monocot plants are endospermic, so that is not the right answer. Then a proteinaceous alluvial layer is present in maize grain. It is right. Okay. Then a sterile pistil is called staminol. Mango is a parthenocarpic fruit. This is also wrong, because mango is not a parthenocarpic fruit. Sterile pistil is called staminol. This is wrong again, because it is not a sterile pistil. A sterile stamen, which means male reproductive part, then it is known as staminode. But pistil is female reproductive part. Okay, so sterile stamen is staminode, but sterile pistil is not known as staminode. So the correct answer is option B. A proteinaceous alluvial layer is present in maize grain. Now the correct floral formula of chili. For that, first you have to know what group does the chili belongs to. Chili will be belonging into family Solanaceae, right? So Solanaceae will be having, they are having 2 carpels, bicarpellary, and their carpels are fused, so all of them are having same property, G2. Okay, then their corolla and androecium is fused, means they are epipetalous. Okay, epipetalous. They are having epipetalous. Okay, and their androeciums are free. So the option D is right. Option D is the correct answer, because they are actinomorphic. They are having bisexual plant. Then calyx is fused with 5 in number, and corolla is also again fused 5 in number, and they are attached to the androecium, which is also known as epipetalous. Okay, epipetalous. Clear? And again, please note that the androecium is not fused. It is free. Clear? The wheat grain has an embryo with one large shield-shaped cotyledon is known as scutellum. And cymose inflorescence is present in. Okay, cymose inflorescence is present in family Solanaceae, because in characteristics of Solanum we have studied they are having cymose inflorescence. So what do you mean by cymose inflorescence? There are 2 types of inflorescence. Please note there are 2 types of inflorescence, racemose and cymose. Clear? Okay, racemose means race. They are in a continuous race, which means their flower is, the floral axis is continuously growing. And the new flowers are formed at the top. New flowers will be forming at the top. The new flowers will be forming again and again at the top. But in cymose the growth is limited. The growth of floral axis is limited, and the new flowers will be formed at the base. And the older flowers at the terminal. Okay, there will be a flower will be formed at the terminal end, so that the growth is limited, and it is seen in, this is a feature of Solanum family. Clear? Okay, again it's floral formula. First we have to note Solanaceae. Okay, Solanaceae, it is option B, because it is actinomorphic bisexual carpel, calyx 5 united, corolla 5 united, androecium 5 free, and gynoecium 2. Okay, this is option B for 4. And then comes Fabaceae. Fabaceae, we just have to note that keel. For getting the formula of Fabaceae, you just have to note the corolla's formula, and also the androecium's formula, because it is symbol. Just see, corolla it will be 1 2 plus 2, right, and androecium it will be diadelphous with one bundle of 9 and one single. Okay, so option A belongs to Fabaceae, right. So these two are clear. And Liliaceae, you just have to remember its gynoecium number is 3, and that 3 will be fused. The number of carpels will be 3, and it will be superior and it will be fused. So Liliaceae, and the other remaining one is Brassicaceae. So option A for 3, and B for 4, C2 and D1. So option D is the right answer. Clear? Now keel is the characteristic features of which type of flower? It is present in Fabaceae, family Fabaceae. And which one of the following belongs to family Fabaceae? Tomato is belonging into Solanum family. Tulip is again into Lily family, and yellow is also Lily family. So Indigofera belongs to Fabaceae. Clear? The morphological nature of the edible part of coconut. What is the edible part of coconut? This is a coconut. Okay, this is a coconut. If this is a coconut, they will be having fibrous part. This fibrous part is mesocarp, and the stony shell, this is the stony shell. The fibrous part is mesocarp, and the stony shell is endocarp. So the fruit is over by this, the fruit wall is over by this much, and inside this there will be white structure. The white part coconut that we eat. So the edible coconut, it is endosperm. Okay, it is endosperm, which is formed as a result of a double fertilization. Okay, so it is endosperm. Clear? Now the next question is, the ovary is half inferior in plum, peach, rose. You just remember the half inferior ovary is present in plum, peach and rose. So the correct answer is option D. So this was all about today's class. We have just covered morphology of flowering plants completely with the MCQs, the PYQs and the chapter. Okay, and in this chapter the most important thing to note is that in each part of the floral formula, like the androecium, gynoecium and calyx and corolla, in their aestivation, in their arrangement of in their placentation, aestivation and their symmetry. There are so many examples. In symmetry there are 3 types and each one is having 2 or more examples. So these examples are important. The examples of aestivation, placentation and symmetry. These are important because they will give you more marks. They will give you short MCQs are from these 3 parts. Okay, so please go through the NCERT again and again and be specific with the examples. Clear? And also be specific with the 3 families. Just 3 families you have to note, just 4 families. Okay, it's Brassicaceae. You just have to see the floral formula of Brassicaceae, Solanaceae, Fabaceae and Liliaceae. Just this Solanaceae and Brassicaceae are present in new NCERT, but Fabaceae and Liliaceae is present in old NCERT, and I have also discussed it in this chapter. So this was all about the morphology of flowering plants. Just see the examples again and again. That's all I have to say. Thank you all for listening to me.